Bam! Hey, wait. You want why? Relax. We can't feed on the word. Literally. Wait. A time is coming. Hold on. How? Oh. After hundreds and hundreds of episodes, we come across this one, Child of God, which might be the life transforming, changing episode for yourself. I am Y311H. I welcome you on today's episode with a word, my friend, of gratitude from deep down my heart. May God bless you abundantly. On this one, we shall be spreading good vibes. Good vibes to the whole world, but by reacting together to videos. These videos have information, child of God, which is extremely wonderful, unique, perfect, and can touch you in your own perfect and unique way. So hold on tightly as we go through these videos and help us in spreading good vibes to the whole world. But now, child of God, we also have a manual here for human beings, which you normally read of, because we believe from this manual there is wisdom that can help transform earthlings. Hear what it tells us today. As the scripture says, anyone who trusts in him will never be put to shame, for there is no difference between Jew and Gentile. The same Lord is Lord of all, and richly blesses all who call on him. For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Romans 10, 12, and 13. Child of God, everyone who calls on the name of God Almighty will be saved. As here we call this creator before we begin all our episodes, so that we may be full of good vibes. Let's talk with this maker and begin the fantastic show of today. Thank you, Father Lord, for this beautiful day. Thank you for your adorable, precious child. Thank you, dear Lord, for gathering us here today. All glory and honor belong unto you. Thank you, dear Lord, for this chance to react to these videos, Father, and to spread love and peace to the whole world together with your child here. Through the sacrifice of your Son, Jesus Christ, Father, may you redeem us. Be with us till the end, Father, and bless us abundantly. May this viewer, dear Lord, be forgiven all their sins, Father, through your mercies. Be with them, Father. Cover them with your love and kindness, Father. And may they see your miracles from where they are. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do pray, trusting and believing. Amen. Let's dive in, child of.
Here's a simple sign someone is dangerous. And this goes back to a war poem that sings, "The danger you see is nothing but a warning. Loud and ugly, it keeps you afar. But the danger that kills is gentle and charming. It smiles as it waits, then breaks who you are." And what that means is the most dangerous people don't demand power. They offer help without ever solving the problem. They take over responsibilities without you asking. They pretend to make your life easier. And unlike a business, they never tell you what it costs. That's the sign. As the saying goes, feed the lion long enough and it forgets how to hunt. You see, a dangerous person does not try to force people to obey them. They instead focus on making people dependent on them. Because once someone makes you feel like you need them, you'll do whatever they ask of you.
Here's another thing that men do to show the women in their lives they don't actually care about them. They will walk ahead of you in most cases. This is something my husband did a lot, and when I would ask him to slow down, because I would be like nearly running to keep up with him, he would always tell me, "You walk too slow, walk fast."
You know, right as you're falling asleep for bed, you get a little pressure on your urethra and you're like, ugh, should I go? It's going to take everything out of me, but maybe I should go in case I can't hold it until the morning. And then you go, and one singular dribble comes out, and you're like, ugh, could this not have waited for the rest in the morning?
What in the get out is going on here? So I saw this on X, y'all, and I had to share this with y'all. So this couple, this interracial couple, went on a date, right? Now this dude posted this on Facebook originally, and it went viral. He said, "This is why I don't usually date outside my race." Now, if y'all have never seen the movie Get Out, you better go watch it. So basically, he went out with this girl. They went on a date. That was the picture of them. And then she texted him saying, "I definitely enjoyed our night out, but I don't think my parents can find out about us, ... He said, "Same here, and why?" And she said, "They despise black guys. My last black boyfriend, let's just say it didn't go well. They literally set him up to be put in jail for life for something he didn't even do. Google Wellington. I really like you, but I don't want anything to happen to you." Not giving his government name. And then he replied and said, "I like you too, and yeah, that's crazy. I went to school with him. Maybe if you sat down and had a conversation with them, they'll loosen up. Think they would be down for dinner?" And she said, "I'll ask, LOL, because I really like you, and I will not lose you." And then he said, "I don't want to lose you either." And then she basically said that her mom and stepdad would be open to meeting that evening. So I guess he meets the parents. He takes a screenshot of the dinner and shows receipts of the meeting. This is so creepy. So he took her phone and saw a message. This is so creepy, y'all. Saying this. He said, it says basically that was her talking to her mom. "Mommy love. He seems well put together, but it's something about him me and Jeff don't approve of. He seems like he would be good around the house for things we need, but not for a relationship. Tried to convince him to start working for us, and once we take a trip to the mountains this summer, well, know the rest. Well, you know the rest." What? And then she said, "Mom, I really like him. Can I at least keep him? He's very sweet." What? And then she said, "Not at all. Dating a black guy in the South, especially Mississippi, is not recommended. Do as you're instructed, please. You'll find someone better." And then she says, "Okay, I'll let him know that Jeff is hiring for work around the house." And like, what? He then posted this post on FB saying, "So this is why I stopped dating outside my race. Would be good and set up. And to this day, she still don't know that I saw those messages in her phone because I left afterwards and never said nothing else about it. Be careful out here, especially in Mississippi." Y'all better be safe. This is crazy. This is literally insane that this is a true story.
I have to come on here so I don't go freaking crazy. My son received this invitation to his awards night, and it says, says his name, and it says, "Congratulations on your achievements at blank high school. You're invited to awards night." And I know this is going to sound terrible, but I was immediately skeptical. He doesn't have good grades. He's not involved in sports. He's not involved in any clubs or activities. He doesn't have perfect attendance. So I'm like, what would he be getting an award for? So I said, "Where did you get that?" Because I didn't know if a child was trying to prank him. He is in high school, but he's been bullied a lot. So I thought someone's maybe trying to prank him. And he said his teacher gave it to him. So I said, "Okay, what's the award for?" He's like, "I don't know." I tried asking her and she said she doesn't know. So I called the school. I left voicemails with the counselors. I never got a phone call back. This was at least a week prior to the award ceremony. I emailed. I didn't get an email back. I emailed another counselor that actually did email me back, and I said, "Hey, my son doesn't have what would he be getting an award for? What are the categories?" She was like, "I don't know. I'll check." So she apparently verified with the counselor, and the counselor messaged her back and said, "Yes, he's getting an award, but we don't say what the award is until the awards night." So I'm like, okay. I also got a text message that said, "Friendly reminder, your child is getting an award. Your child's been nominated to receive an award on awards night." So I'm like, okay, it's definitely him. I don't know what for, but okay, we'll roll with it. The whole 2 weeks of waiting for this awards night, he's like, "I wonder what I'm getting an award for." It's important to note that my son has autism and ADHD, but with autism, his social awareness is just not really there. So he's not really thinking like, "Oh, I don't have good grades and stuff." So he's excited to be getting this award. I'm skeptical skeptical because I know, like, what would he be getting an award for? But anyways, for himself, he's very excited. I don't know if he heard me talking or if he was getting skeptical because I was questioning it so much. But then he's like, do you think they got me mixed up with another student? I'm like, I don't know. But they say you're getting an award. So you're getting an award. You must have done something good. Like maybe your teachers are impressed with you. Maybe you got a good SAT score. I don't know. So anyways, we go to this awards night and even at the awards, like we're sitting there and he was like, maybe I got invited to like work the awards night. And I was like, no, they wouldn't invite you to work. It says you're receiving an award. And so anyways, the whole time we're sitting, and when we got there, they gave us this pamphlet that said all of the different categories. And I'm looking through, I'm like, I don't know any of these things that he would be getting an award in, to be honest. Like, I know that sounds terrible because he's my son. I love him, but he doesn't do well in school. And that's just what it is. So I'm like, and he was reading the categories and I was like, do any of them look familiar? Like, do you know anything about any of these things? And he was like, no. And he's like, we're probably just going to be sitting here all night and I'm not really going to get an award. And I was like, no, they invited you, so you're definitely getting an award. But he was getting more and more anxious as each category went on. Then we get to this one category and they call his name and he was like shocked. Okay. Let me just show you the top of it. Florida Boys State Delegate. He comes back, like he goes up on stage, takes a photo with the principal, everything, receives his award, comes back, and I was like, what is that for? He's like, I don't know. So we go, when we leave the awards thing, he was like, I think they got me mixed up with another student. And I'm like, well, surely not. Like, it wasn't like two kids with his name got up and went to receive the award. He was the only one. So I emailed the school because the person who like gave out this award, and I said, hi. I said, good evening. My son received an award tonight. The award, Florida Boys State Delegate. Can you please give me information on what this is and how it was earned? He's unsure, and so am I. Thank you for any clarification you can provide. Hi, Christina. So sorry for the confusion. Another student actually applied with the same first name and similar last name. I confused them. The Boys State is a political program for students. The students, blah, 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 blah. So what you're telling me is this award was not for my son, which I tried to verify weeks ahead of time to avoid this. So how embarrassing for my son to be up on stage accepting an award that he did not even get. He sat through anxious that like they made a mistake. Then when he actually got the award, he was excited. He's like, cool, like I did something, I don't know what I did, but I did something good. And he didn't really understand because he's fucking autism. I'm so mad. Like, I don't even know what they can do to make this right. The fact that, like, I get that mistakes happen, but the fact that I verified, I called and I emailed and my son asked, I got this little invitation, I got a text message verification for him to go to this award ceremony and receive some award that's not even for him. And so sad for the other kid who was supposed to receive this award that they weren't even invited to the award ceremony to receive their actual award. Sad for that kid, embarrassing for mine, and I don't even know how to rectify the situation because it's just like unexcusable in my opinion.
Wow, good baby stories. Wow, that's one crazy story. Myself, if I put myself in that child's shoes, back then in primary school, if something like that ever happened to me from this side of the world, good baby stories, my friend would have something to roast me till the end of our life there in school. You see, that one could be a major roast. Imagine you received a present that you did not know it was not yours, and you were extremely happy thinking you had done something good. That's quite crazy. Anyway, Earthlings have different ways of doing stuff in other places of the world. But children of God, we should all be loving and kind to one another, full of good vibes. Let's continue watching these videos and keep on leaving your comments and hitting the like button. Much love.
People won't tell you this, but you can open your third eye in like 10 minutes. And once you open your third eye in this way, it's not going to go away on its own. I learned this at the age of about 10 from a woman on YouTube called Kelly Coffee. She was officially my first spiritual mentor, and she guided me for about 10 years. So thank you, Kelly. I'm passing along what you taught me. So if you really want to see spirits, if you really want to see what's out there, if you want to see something like you've never, ever seen before. People aren't talking about this because most people who think they're seeing something are not even seeing this, okay? What you do is you go outside on a warm summer night, and right after dusk falls, like when almost everything is completely pitch dark, but it's like 98% dark, you know, you still got like a tiny little haze in the sky of light. If you sit in the dark for a few minutes, you can make out some detail. Go outside and make yourself comfortable, okay? And then what I want you to do is look somewhere that's dark. Relax your eyes. Just stare out in that direction. And just keep looking. And don't expect to see anything. Just focus on relaxing. Focus on your breath. You know, while you're at it, pretend that you have nostrils in your heart and breathe through that imaginary nose on your heart, just while you're looking around in the darkness. And soon enough, after some time, you're going to start to see things. You're going to see a flicker of light, or you're going to see an outline of something in colored dots. There are many ways that the spirits can present. But after about 10 minutes, just be patient. It will happen, but you do have to sit there and stare until you see something. The problem with this is that most people don't have the patience to give themselves 10 minutes to see a spirit. So if you can't do that, then I'll just say that you don't deserve it. But for those of us who can handle this exercise, go out and try it. And trust me, if you do this every night for like a week, you will see the spirits at night. You will see them loud and clear, bright in the darkness. And you can bring this practice around in the daytime too. You'll even start to see spirits during the day. And then if you stay consistent with this, what it does is it allows you to connect with that third eye and that visual, that data of that spiritual technology that you have of seeing the spirit. That will become awakened in your spirit, and you will start seeing things beyond spirits at night, beyond spirits of the day. You will see other things in other realms, and I'm not going to tell you what those things are. You just have to go find out for yourself.
This is how constant and how relentless it is for people who live with visible differences. And this probably happens to a lot of people. But just this morning, I was in the lift. I'm here in Barcelona to deliver a keynote on confidence at the NF Patients Union Summit. And I'm coming down the lift, and I'm inside the lift, and there's a couple of people in the lift, 2 ladies, clearly going out for a day of tourism, enjoying themselves in Barcelona. And then there's that awkward silence. It goes quiet. They kind of don't know how to react. They see me. And it was a very small lift, really, really small lift. And it was really awkward. It was really awkward. And those 30 seconds coming down to ground floor felt like a lifetime for me. And we in the visibly different community get this all the time. Doesn't matter if we're in a lift, doesn't matter if we're sitting on the bus, it doesn't matter if we're going into a new room. People stare. And I just want to say it's relentless. It always happens. It's difficult, but we need to find ways to remain confident, to remain positive, and be ourselves. And in this month of NF Awareness Month, I just want to keep saying to everybody, let's be kind to one another, let's be nice to one another. We're all going through something. A smile doesn't cost anything. Let's smile at one another.
This is insane. How many of you have seen this? And what do you see? Look at their hands. Who has hands this size? What human being has hands like this in proportion to their body? Do you know anyone? I don't know anyone. And people are just commenting on their performance and her talent and not the hands, as if that's normal. I've never seen that in my life. and I have a lot to say about it, but I'm on my last strike with TikTok, so I'm going to be careful with my words, and I'm going to ask you guys what you think and if you think that's normal, because at this point, I think I live in a different reality than some people. Like, are we watching the same thing right now, you and I? Because I feel like we're not. Like, I don't even know.
People seem to think that because my family plays polo, that we're rich for some reason, which is absolutely not true, okay? Let me explain something to you, okay? To play polo, you don't just need one horse. One horse gets exhausted in half an hour. You can't play polo with just one horse. You need 4 horses on rotation every half hour. So back to the question, we are not rich. We are super fucking rich.
Oh my god. Hey. I don't even know what to do with that information. You see, from this side of the word good web source, people have different animals. Other people live with cows, goats, dogs. Ourselves, we even live with bunnies, chicken, many animals. But now the horse and the camel, those might be an extremely luxurious animals, and not most people own them. In fact, some people that own horses, they charge people just to get a horse ride, because some people live their whole life without ever having boarded a horse. Now you have to pay for the experience. Now hearing this story where you have to have more than one horse is extremely crazy. Other earthlings in this world, my friends, are extremely blessed. But if we were all loving, caring towards one another, we would all be living equally and full of good vibes. We also saw a video before we continue of some good vibes guy that had a disorder on his face, you see? And he reminded us of the important virtues we talk about here. Love and kindness to that person that is around, you see? No matter their color, shape, size, or where they come from. Because God is love. And love, my friend, is good vibes. Let's keep on watching and hit that like button. This is news.
So what air fryer crab lady probably didn't realize is that meat actually tastes worse if the animal was terrified before it died. And this is because there's something called glycogen in its muscles. And when the animal dies calm, that glycogen is converted into lactic acid, which is one of the things that makes meat taste tender and juicy and good. But when an animal is terrified as it dies, say if you were to put it into a glass air fryer and roast it alive after seasoning it alive, the meat actually tastes much worse because it uses up that glycogen and it doesn't turn into lactic acid and it doesn't make the meat taste good. So when she said, y'all, this tasted so good, I'm gonna do it again, it leads me to believe that she's never had good crab, because good crab probably died calm and didn't, die suffering and screaming in crab language.
Most women will have one breast bigger than the other. But do you know why? And which side is most likely to be the biggest? Because it's true, one side is likely to be bigger than the other. Have you always thought this was a bit weird and you're not sure why it's happening to you? Let me put your mind at ease as to why this is happening. By the way, the majority of women will have this. I get so many women in my change room saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I have one breast size that's bigger than the other, so that's why it's more difficult to fit in my size. But you're actually in the majority. Most women will have one breast size bigger than the other. I mean, don't get me wrong, they'll be varying in sizes. Some people will be more extreme than others. But did you know from your right and your left, one of them is more likely to be bigger than the other? And that side is actually your left side. But why? This is because our hearts are actually located slightly on the left side of our body, meaning that there's more blood flow and more tissue development on this side. So this usually contributes to the left side being slightly bigger for the majority of women. It can be more subtle in some women than others, but the important thing to know is that you're completely normal and there's nothing wrong with you. You're actually in the majority of the population.
Unhinged witchy hacks. Tell the trees what they did. Nature will avenge you.
So you tell the trees what the person that you're upset with did?
If someone has wronged you and you think that the universe needs to make it right, you can tell the trees what they did.
Well, the way I'll be sitting in my backyard just talking to my trees.
Never make fun of your stuff that you own, whether it's car, appliances, house, clothes, plants, etc., because they have their own spirit energy that will get offended and start breaking down and turning on you. I like this along with just kind of saying things as I wish them to be, of like, I have the best, most reliable car, and I'm so grateful for after almost 10 years, she still runs beautifully. Thank you very much. Not like, this piece of crap might die at any time, because what if it can hear you? My mom told me this, and it works 99% of the time. If you can't find something, get a glass cup and turn it upside down and leave it somewhere like your counter. You will then find what you're looking for.
Ooh, I wonder what the witchy logic behind that is.
I don't know the motive. It's just someone's mom told them to do it.
Gen Z's humor is basically what used to be like fringe millennial humor. It's called metaodern or postmodern. It's the type of art that is like a mix of sincere and ironic at the same time. So like memes are like that. Like it's ironic, but it's also sincere. But it's ironic, but it's also sincere. And like there's no limit to that. But if the general trend is that we're going from sincere, simple stuff to more ironic and layered stuff, isn't it gonna get crazy at a certain point? Like it already feels crazy, the memes that we have today, but like just from an IQ perspective, most people with an average IQ can't handle more than 2 or 3 layers of thinking at once. And that's essentially where metamodern humor takes you. It's like 2 or 3 layers, it's right on the edge, but if we get to 4 or 5 or 6 layered humor, it's just gonna be too much. So I actually think we're about to turn and go back the other way, or we get brain implants, which makes us smarter, and then we just get insanely exponential humor and it goes off the map.
Here's something I see a lot of students make mistakes on. The area of this square is 1. The area of this square is 4. The area of this square is 9. And now many students also understand that the square root of 1 is equal to 1, and the square root of 4 is equal to 2, and also that the square root of 9 is equal to 3. But not many students realize that we call the square root of 4 2 because the length of one side is 2 when the area is 4. The length of one side is 3 when the area is 9. And the length of one side is 1 when the area is 1. Let's make our next square. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1 second, girls, I'm drawing a perfect square. Okay. This is the perfect square we know and love, called 16. And what is the square root of 16? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The square root of 16 equals 4. More chalk for me. Thanks, kiddo.
Why do cats tap you with their paws, but without claws? My name's Amanda. I'm a clinical cat behaviourist, and these are the reasons why you'll get that gentle tap. Soft tap is a gentle way of getting your attention. I know Noodle will come up to me and literally tap my face like that. It's super cute, no claws out. It's normally feed me, pet me, or play with me. It's usually, nearly always, a request for attention. And I think that's really lovely, the fact that your cat has trained you to understand that that little tap means I need you. Let's face it, it's a polite language, isn't it? And it's really sweet rather than meowing or screaming or scratching. So always reward these gentle taps with a positive experience for